on camera today. I said I have to at least come on camera because it's the first cooking vlog of 2020. So I said, let me just come on camera. First video to be me looking at least a little decent. It's not the case. It's Saturday. Kids just went back to school yesterday. I don't know. I'm still like trying to get into the groove of stuff. I spent the last 2 days, guys, cleaning. Yes, I did. Stairs, just
Alexa,
the second floor.
Timer on for 5 more minutes. Alexa, put the timer on for 5 more minutes.
Hi everyone and happy 2020. Today is the first cooking tutorial of 2020. Today is Saturday. I don't even know what day it is. The kids just went back to school after winter break yesterday. So I feel like I'm trying to catch up a little. And I decided to share with you guys today because such a gloomy, it's like drizzling, raining on and off kind of Saturday. And it's really foggy out by us. I don't know if it's by you. This is like the perfect time to make a shrimp soup. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to make it, and I'm going to turn it up a notch. This is not your basic shrimp soup. Nope, it's not your basic sopa de camarón. Watch, I'm going to put a little kick in it. Happy 2020, my Saturday cooking, my wine, and you guys. Now on to the video. Alright guys, so for this delicious pot of soup, what we're going to start off with is 12 cups of water, which we're going to allow to come to a boil. I'm going to add 1 piece of ginger, and you guys know that now for the winter, it's really good to cook with fresh ginger, fresh garlic, and fresh turmeric. I'm also going to drop in there 1 whole piece of fresh turmeric. I'm not going to chop them up. I'm just stuffing them in there because what we're going to create with these 12 cups of water, the shrimp broth. So to add to that broth, you guys know on prior videos when I make anything with shrimp, I always tell you guys to freeze the shrimp shells. You can use them to make fresh stock. Well, I have some frozen, but since I'm using shrimp in this recipe, I just peeled the shrimp and I'm using the shrimp shells to make that shrimp stock. And I'm going to allow this to boil for about maybe 30 minutes. I want to squeeze as much of that shrimp flavor that I can out of there. I'm going to let this come to a boil, but I want to so you guys see I'm not bluffing. These are shrimp shells that I have frozen in my freezer. This is another bag of shell that I freeze, and I can use them to make any kind of seafood stock. If I want to, when I make my seafood sancocho, I utilize these shells to give it that oomph, that extra flavor of seafood. Using some of the Scotch bonnet Jamaican peppers, I have them frozen because Paul uses them to make his curry and his jerk, and trust me guys, you don't need much of these suckers. We're going to be using 2 pounds of large shrimp, so this is what I bought in ShopRite. Okay, so now that it has come to a boil, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some salt because I want to salt my water, like so. And I'm just going to sprinkle some pepper because remember we're creating a broth, so we want to make sure that our broth is flavorful. While this comes to a boil, I'm going to go over with you guys some of the ingredients that we're going to be using. Alright guys, so I'm going to remove my shrimp shells. And it's been about maybe 20 minutes. It didn't go the whole 30 minutes. I'm some garlic in there though. And you see some of the water evaporated, and that's okay. That happens when you make any kind of, you know, liquidy stew, whether it's soup, beans, or anything. You can gradually add water as needed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit this aside because this is my my broth. To my skillet, I want to start seasoning up my veggies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take only 1 teaspoon of olive oil, which I have right here. I'm going to start with a half of orange pepper. It can be any color. Orange is what I have, so that's what I am using. And then a half of just regular yellow onion. doesn't cut off on me. All right, so that's the garlic. And these are the sweet small peppers. They look like the Scotch bonnet peppers. To that I'm gonna add my cilantro. And the cilantro is a half a cup of cilantro. You can use less. You guys know I love cilantro. And I'm just gonna allow this to wilt a little bit. We allow for our shrimp off to come back to a boil again. We're gonna add our veggies that we roasted in olive oil to that. Then to that, we're going to add 1 whole can of coconut milk. Yes, guys, because we're going to be making coconut shrimp soup. And it's delicious. I'm going to add 1 more piece of garlic in that. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Alexa, stop. About 2 pieces of bay leaf. I'm gonna add some saffron. And you know, I got this off of Amazon. I'll put the link in the bottom. And let me tell you, it's a little pricey, but it's delicious, and a little bit goes a long way. So I'm gonna grab about a pinch and just spray, not spray, drop those pieces in there. All right, guys, I'm gonna add 1/4 cup. And I just wanna show you, these are the flakes that I buy, the coconut sweet flakes. And I make, not for, I make a sweet coconut curry. So this is why I have these flakes. This coconut shrimp soup is going to have like a shrimp flavor with some sweetness in it. But what's better than sweetness? But some spice. So we're gonna drop a half of Scotch bonnet pepper in there. We're gonna let all of that cook together for a while. You guys know I add my shrimp last. My shrimp last because I don't like mushy shrimp. And to that, what I'm going to add, and I had this soaking for like 4 or 5 hours. This is 1 cup of jasmine rice, okay? Not my Puerto Rican rice, jasmine rice. So 1 cup of jasmine rice has been sitting in water for a few hours. When I took out my shrimp to defrost, I also soaked my rice. The soup is delicious. It has the shrimp, the coconut milk, the rice. It's good. And as you guys go cooking this, make sure that you go tasting. Yum! I need some salt. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of, I'm adding pink salt. You can add any salt you like. I'm gonna sprinkle some pepper. A boil. Once it comes to a boil, then we'll turn the reduce the heat, turn it down, and allow it to cook. So to that, I'm going to start adding my chicken broth. I know I made a shrimp broth, but the chicken broth gives it another whole flavor, trust me. Okay, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. All right guys, now at the very end, we're going to add our 2 pounds of large shrimp. Yum, look at this guys. And we're gonna cook this for about maybe 15 minutes because our stew, the stew is done. A lot of that flavor, so you wanna make sure as you're cooking, you're tasting and making sure that your, you know, that your flavors are good. All right guys, so this is the end of my tutorial. This soup, guys, is freaking delicious. It has like this little bit of sweet to it from the coconut. You don't even taste the coconut flakes, but you can see them there. Then it has a tiny kick from the spicy Jamaican pepper. And I did serve it with aguacate. It's delicious. You have to give this recipe a try. Let me know how you like it. It's good comfort food, guys. And that Scotch bonnet pepper in there gives it the right amount of kick to it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Simply Nena with Crafting, Cooking, and Sazon. To the next video, and happy 2020, guys. God bless.